Hey friends, welcome to Andy's Audio Crap, where we talk about audio gear in all of its glory. Today, let's say you had 800 bucks and you had to go and find the best sounding out of these two or something else. Go look at the other videos. Let's roll into it. Oh wait, no, before we roll into it, this is Carver and this is Marantz. Welcome. Okay folks, if you've already watched one of these videos in this series and you've watched the Marantz part, it's the same every video. I know it sounds like a broken record saying that, but skip ahead to 7 minutes, we'll dig into the Carver. Hopefully you're already familiar with Marantz. They have a long legacy of creating some of the most sought after, most desirable receivers and amplifiers. This in particular is a 2230. The 2230, they sold I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of these, but they used to be a dime a dozen. You could go out on any alley and find 2 or 3 of them. I'm being a little sarcastic, but 10 years ago, these were next to worthless. Now, these are just going through the roof. So why? Well, they sound absolutely killer good. In my pursuit to find something that can substitute in for this, I'm going to be looking at several different categories. This is my receiver stereo amp score sheet, and every amp that I compare to the Marantz is going to get a score sheet. The Marantz got a score sheet, and what we're going to look at on the score sheet is listening crap, input output rating crap, and value add crap. Now, let's go through the Marantz in particular. I gotta find it. There's a lot of them. I compared a lot of amps here, receivers. Top to bottom, this amplifier, as this one sets right now, would probably sell for $800 to $1,200 on eBay, depending on the day, depending on the buyer. It's Christmas time. God knows it's just going to go crazy. So that classic 70s sound is what you're going to get with one of these. You look at the controls, you only have a very limited amount of controls on this thing. You have a receiver, you have tone controls, which is low, medium, high, bass, mid, treble. You have phono in, aux in, and a couple of cassettes, I think. No, one cassette, and that's it. You got a pre-out, main in, things like that. It's really super basic, but it sounds absolutely phenomenal. And the looks, you can't deny it. The looks are great. Now, on the listening crap, because this is our benchmark, and we want to be able to distinguish between this and other receivers that I'm going to review, it gets 5s all the way down. Total score 25. We're going to score inputs, 10 each, and we're only looking at aux, CD, and phono. If it can do 4 ohms, it gets 20 points. Non-surround sound speaker outputs. So we're going to be doing some stereos that have surround sound. I just don't even care about the other outputs, only the main outs. Left-right channel leakage. This one's a little bit of an odd duck, but it's pretty easy to test. You unplug one channel from the input, unplug the speaker from the opposite, and, or no, you plug in, oh, no, wait, I got that wrong. You unplug one of the inputs, unplug the same speaker, no, the other one. Anyways, it's some mix of that, and if you can hear audio coming through, there's leakage. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the Marantz at a -10, which is the middle. Separation and stage, kind of a byproduct of a lot of things. Dynamic range, leakage, just general ability of the stereo to replicate stereo sound. We're going to, again, put Marantz right in the middle. It's going to be a 10. So Marantz got a total input output or input total output thing. This crap score right here, it's got a 60. And then the value add crap is stuff like serviceability, which this one, we're gonna put it at the max. We're gonna say, this is the max of serviceability. Everything from there on out is just going downhill, right? If you can match the serviceability of this, actually, you know, just gonna use my own experience here. This thing is ridiculously serviceable. Build quality, we're gonna put this right in the middle. We're gonna say, hey, this is middle tier. And you're gonna see on some of these amps that they just went to the hilt to outdo themselves on things that you'll never ever see unless you're working on them. And then value, price. Now, the Marantz is gonna be lower on this scale, right? It's very expensive for what it is, for how many watts you're getting, and well, you'll see as you watch these videos, you'll see. The faceplate option and just general attractiveness. Marantz, I put it at a 40 on both. There are better ones out there, and I'm looking at one of them right now. Hopefully you subscribe, because this is going to be a series. I don't know how long it's going to go on. I just keep finding stuff and buying it to review against the Marantz. This is a Carver C1 and a 25, what is that, TFM, I can never remember that, TFM-25 amplifier. So it's preamp and amplifier. If you wanted the other component, like the receiver or the stereo, the radio part, the AM FM thing, yeah, it would be another component up here. This is designed to be kind of a rack system. They're very iconic 80s, 90s. Carver was huge here in the Midwest. I don't know if it was that big everywhere else, but everyone had a Carver system here, it seemed like. And so it's really easy to actually find them on Marketplace. They pop up, you know, 2-3 times a month. You'll find a really good one that'll pop up. But all of that aside, really this thing is just loaded to the hilt with all kinds of features, like 2 phono in, 2 aux in, does 4 ohm, only has 2 speakers out because I only have 1 amp. So on the score sheet, you'll see it getting dinged for that. But despite all that it has, you know, it's really actually pretty much the same price. So this one's been rebuilt. Both of these units have been rebuilt. And then this Marantz has been rebuilt. And the Marantz is hovering right around $800 to $1,200. You can pick these up for less than $1,200. I don't know if you can get them as low as $800, but essentially you're going to want one that's been rebuilt. Don't buy the used, you know, unknown condition, tested working on eBay. You really want one that's been serviced. A buddy of mine services these. That's what he does. And he has got this down to a fine art. He can fly through these pretty well, and the results are spectacular. I will show you the score sheet right now. Rocket Man. This is the only time that I've given anything a plus above 10 score. It sounded so incredible. It was like a spiritual experience. I cannot stress it enough. I'm just at a loss for words on how good it sounded. It was an emotional experience. Rocket Man will never sound the same on any other receiver. Mama Said is a 7, and so is Inner Sandman. And that's because the low end of this, no matter what you do with the dials and all this other stuff, it needs a sub. It does not have a lot of punch to it. That low end, it just kind of drops off. Not that it sounds bad. That's why the scores are still higher than the Marantz. It sounds absolutely magical. Like the soundstage presentation depth. That's the word that really, it's the depth of the music is so, it's like looking at a holograph. And the holography on here is off. Everything is neutralized. Same with this one. If it can be bypassed, it is. If it can be turned to neutral, it is. It's just crazy good. It's just that crazy good. Take 5 is the only set out of this entire series so far that has got a 10 on Take 5. And that is because the presentation was so, I don't even know, I'm just at such a loss for words to describe how damn good it sounded. It took me in and sucked me into the music, and it made me just want to be there. If that makes sense at all. It's just beautiful. Guitars and Cadillacs. Now, I said this about one of the other receivers, that I could hear the boots on the wood planked floor, and I could hear the glasses clinking together at the bar, and I could hear a guy getting slapped in the background by a gal. And this was even more of a spiritual experience than that. This was like, actually, I could smell the bar. That's how good it was. Okay, now let's look at the inputs, outputs crap real quick. Channel leakage on this thing is absolutely horrendous. Now, somebody had made a comment in one of the previous videos that, hey, you know, some of that's done on purpose, and maybe that's the case. I will say that if that is the case in here, they did an excellent job, because the leakage is there, but the separation and stage is far and beyond better than anything we've listened to so far. We, meaning me and my mouse in my pocket. The serviceability is absolutely way up there. There's service bulletins, there's manuals, there's schematics. Everything's out there for the taking on these. It's very popular to pick one of these up and do a restoration yourself. It's not for the faint of heart. I'm not going to tell anybody to go and do that, but with enough motivation, you can certainly do it. Build quality, price to value is absolutely way up there. Now, I said that these are the same price, and in previous videos I've dinged things that are the same price on price to value, ranking it down into like 20, sometimes 30. This gets a 40, and that is because you are getting such an exceptional value for the money. Like, I can't even, it's just, all right, I'll leave it at that. Silver champagne option, I don't like the way they look. Honestly, this up here is awful. It's ugly. This down here is cool. I don't like round meters. So I actually don't like the way these look. I would say visually attractive. I put it right there in the middle because it's not blackface. So, well, it is blackface. You get the point. It's just, it's different enough that it gets attention, but it's not this. This is just beautiful. This is not beautiful. I guess in a techno 80s, 90s German, what is that dance that they do? That it's kind of, I mean, it looks kind of like that dance that I was just doing. I'm sure I just probably didn't look like I was doing a dance. But anyways, you get the point. I love this thing. And I'm going to wait for a while to publish the video until I find a set for myself, because these are loaner. Because I just don't, I want to see if I can pick a set up, because if this video does good, the prices are going to go up. Maybe the video won't do good though. All right, so go out and look, see if you can pick you up a set. All right, so with that, we're gonna now go into a sound demo. I really appreciate you guys watching. This has been a fun series to film. It has been absolutely a wonderful experience getting to listen to all these receivers, integrateds, and now preamp amp. Thanks for watching again. Like and subscribe. Let's give it a listen.